Good morning, boys and girls. I'm Miss Stephanie, and I'm sure glad to see you all today. Today, we're going to be reading about Mardi Gras things. That's coming up really soon, and that usually happens right before Easter time. The first book I'm going to read today is The Bourbon Street Band is Back. Bourbon Street is in New Orleans. All right. Ever since the caveman hummed, the mermaids sang, and the natives drummed, there's been music in the air, and you could find it everywhere. Bands were roaming near and far, from Mexico to Zanzibar, from Iceland to the Ivory Coast, and all the places that you like most. There were bands in Greece and France and anywhere that folks could dance. Just find a map and pick a spot. There's no place that bands were not. And though the bands were very good in every land and neighborhood, the very best would make their way to New Orleans in the USA. This is where the great bands met, and one was even better yet. It was the grandest of the grand, Bobcat Bob and his Bourbon Street Band. The Bobcat wore a cool French hat. He wore it forward, straight and flat. When someone wears a hat like that, you know they must be a really cool cat. He had a hatitude and a catitude. While Bobcat attacked the drums, a snapping turtle snapped his thumbs, warblers warbled, catbirds mewed, kingbirds led, and the cowbirds mooed. On the horns were 3 raccoons, a crawfish, and a pair of loons. On several of the higher tunes, a frog sat in the play the spoons. To help old Bobcat keep the pace, a gator played the stand-up bass. Those players really rocked the place as sweat poured down the gator's face. They are jamming today. Those who heard them say they played like lightning mixed with lemonade. And that, I think you will agree, it's just as good as a song can be. When players play like that, you know word's bound to spread about the show. Soon people came from miles around to hear them make their special sound. Bobcat's band was very popular. A band played fast and it played loud. The louder it played, the bigger the crowd. A song might start out sweet and mild, then came the drums and the crowd went wild. I wish you'd seen them on the stage back then when they were all the rage. They played like wind, they played like fire, they raised the roof and raised it higher. They played all night and weren't done till morning came, and they raised the sun. They raised it up with a sound so bright it washed away the dark of night. Not every band can raise the sun, but one that can is lots of fun. So people cheered with sheer delight, and somehow all the world seemed right. That is, until a certain show one certain night not long ago, when halfway through the happy song, it seemed that something went wrong. The music stopped, there was no sound. The people gasped and looked around. Somehow it seemed a change had come that stopped the bass and hushed the drum. It hushed the loons and their raccoons, it hushed the frog who played the spoons, and all the others on the stage were silent on an empty page. Then Bobcat Bob took off his hat and left the stage in seconds flat. And just like that, without a choice, the great New Orleans lost its voice. Oh my goodness, wonder what happened. And with the music went the sun, and without the band it came undone. It slid back down below the ground, and darkness rose all around. The whole world watched as silence came, and all that agreed it was a shame. What was the cause? Who was the blame? Would New Orleans ever be the same? For months the sun stayed out of sight, and through those months of endless night, through all the time that darkness stayed, no songs were heard, no notes were played. Of course, without a music show, the people had no place to go. They stayed at home and locked the door and wished that things were like before. It's dark. Boy, I just don't know what happened to you. Now, life is strange and things can change. Sometimes they simply rearrange. Some go from good to bad, it's true, but they can change for the better, too. And that's what occurred that day. The music found a way to play. It started with a single beat. Tap. They heard it out on Bourbon Street, and then a tap, 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 and then a third tap, and then they heard the fourth one. Tap, tap, tap. Out in the dark, those beats were beated, some just once and some repeated. It was a drum. There was no doubt a drum was calling people out. Tap, 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 tap. A drum was saying, come out here, ignore the dark, and have no fear. The people heard it loud and clear, and soon they began to gather near. And who do you suppose they found pounding out that drumming sound? Was that a cat in a cool French hat? It was Bobcat they were looking at. And as the drum picked up the pace, the gator joined with his stand-up bass. Soon the horns began to play and sweet voices filled the air. And somewhere just behind the loons there seemed to be the sound of spoons. These players were clearly had the knack. Bob and his Bourbon Street band were back. In fact, the band seemed even more exciting than it was before. The notes were sweet and strong and clear. They shook the heart, they kissed the ear. They rose like notes, like flames and sparks. They floated through the streets and parks. They reached so high and went so far, you could have heard them on a star. And what was that off to the right? What thing could be so big and bright? It lit the sky, it warmed the air. What was this giant thing up there? The sun, they cried, the sun, and it was true. At last the sun was shining through, a brilliant ray that brought the day and made the darkness run away. And other bands were playing too, and bigger crowds came into view, and thousands danced and sang along in a great parade of sun and song. Ooh, the sun does make everybody feel so much better. It makes me feel better. Does it make you feel better? Now, bands took turns and people cheered. They cheered each time a band appeared. They clapped for every song they knew, and then for every new one, too. It's good to cheer with all your might, and those folks clapped a lot that night, and the biggest hand in all the land went to Bobcat and the Bourbon Street Band. And that's the end, and they've been having parades and bands and music in New Orleans ever since. That was a good story, don't you think? I liked it. Our second book It's called Train Your Dragon to Be Kind. Hello, my name is Drew, and I do what a few have done. And though it's most unusual, it truly is great fun. You see, I have a dragon. His name is Diggity Doo. And with just a bit of training, he's my buddy, tried and true. I know what you're thinking, that pet dragons cannot be, for a dragon is a dangerous thing, most people would agree. But raising dragons can be done, and all that requires is to teach them to be good and refrain from setting fires. That's all. Once, when Diggory lost a game, it made him very mad. He huffed and he puffed and he hissed a flame, and I told him that was bad. Diggory, don't be angry or downhearted with the blues, but be kind to your opponent even when you lose. Although the Diggory likes to play with all the girls and boys, sometimes he's selfish and he doesn't share his toys. Uh-oh. Not very nice. Diggity do, I tell him, that's not a nice way to act. You can do much better, and you know that's a fact. Before I taught him better, Diggory Doo was kind of mean. He would tease the other children, so I had to intervene. It soon became quite clear that he needed some advice. And how about to get along and treating other people nice? Diggory do, sometimes it's hard, but I'm sure that you will find you'll gain much satisfaction when you practice being kind. Diggory do looked confused, as if he had some questions. I saw he needed help, so I gave him some suggestions. It helps to wear a smile as you're walking down the street and say, "How do you do?" to everyone you meet. Try never to miss a chance to do a helpful deed or offer your assistance when you see someone's in need. Look, he's helping a little granny walk across the street. Now that's very sweet. Before you speak to others, the most thoughtful thing to do is to think of how you'd feel if they said the same to you. Help Mom around the house because you live there as well. And when Dad is napping, be careful not to yell. Thank you, please. Be sure to mind your manners and say thank you and if you please. And give someone a tissue when you hear somebody sneeze. We say bless you when we hear somebody sneeze, do you? Everyone gets angry, but it's important that you learn not to lose your temper or to look for stuff to burn. Speak with tender kindness, give the best you have to give, and soon you'll discover it's a better way to live. When you're kind to others, then they will be kind to you. And though that is a reason, there's another reason too. When you're kind to other people, you will find that it's the case that they'll pass the kindness on till the world is a much better place. Kindness is a way of life that will always be in style, and when you have it all in your heart, your face will wear a smile. Share your smile with others, then they will share it too, until the world is wearing smiles that started out with you. So, I think this was a wonderful book, don't you? And it is good to be kind. And I learned a long time ago that smiling to people, you don't necessarily have to talk to them, but you can give them a smile because you don't know what's happened to them before they saw you. And it's always nice to have a smile. I had a little lady one time tell me I had a beautiful smile. And it made me think about that. And I had to think to myself, I should smile every day to people. So that's a good way to start to be kind, just a simple little smile. So all of you have a good day and smile. Now our last book is called Three Little Cajun Pigs. It's a New Orleans story, just like the Three Little Pigs, but it's done Cajun style. And Cajun is a language that some people in New Orleans speak. In South Louisiana, where gators grow big, livin' three Cajun pigs and old Mama Pig. Them pigs were named Toast Clair and Thiabol. Ulysses was the oldest, they all called him Boo. One morning their mama done give 'em some food and tell 'em some news that don't make 'em feel good. It's time that you boys find your own place to stay. I think that you start looking today. Go build a house of your own, Mama say. You'll sleep there tonight if you start right away. So the three little pigs packed up all their clothes and kissed Mama goodbye and then followed their nose. They walked for a while, and then Toast Clair he say, I'll build me a house and I'll do it today. I'll build it so fast just like you never saw. I'd do it right now if I had some straw. Then just up the road, the bayou, they say, a big wooden sign that been nailed to a tree. Them pigs read the words on the sign and they say, look here, this straw is free. You can take it away. Go on, Toast Clair said, I will catch up to you. I'll build a straw house before you count to two. Old Boo rolled his eyes and he made them sigh. And Theobald said, you look angry, Boo, why? Straw is okay if you're making them bed, but when you build walls, you need something instead. Houses for pigs got to be plenty strong in case that dem gator come crawling along. Them just up the road, guess what them pigs see? Somebody been cutting some limbs off a tree, and there was a sign that say, haul these away, and Theobald shout, this is my lucky day. He grab all them limbs and start working so fast, his house halfway finished for too much time to pass. Ulysses, he start thinking, them boys got it wrong. If you build a house, then it's got to be strong. Ulysses shake his head and then he walks some more. And soon that pig just see what he's looking for. A whole bunch of bricks was piled next to a sign that say, need these bricks? You can have them, that's fine. Boo clear off a spot for his house made of brick. He built that house strong and he made them walls thick. And while he was a-workin', who comes a-skippin' by? Them two other pigs, and they laugh till they cry. Them bricks show a look heavy. What's wrong with you, Boo? How come you don't use straw or sticks like we do? Boo frown and he say, when that gator come by, he'll knock your house down and with his tail if he try. And speaking of gators not too far away, somebody was watching them little pigs play. Old Claude, that big gator, was in the bayou. He said them tree pigs, he watch what they do. Claude crawl out of the water and hide into grass. He sit there and he wait till them first two pigs pass. Then Claude jumped in from them pigs and he say, I thinkin' that's time for some coochin' de lat. Old Claude started to chase the first pig that he saw. To Claire he done one with the house made of straw. To Claire he run home and then shut that door tight. He pull close them curtains and turn off the light. Oh, piggy, said Claude with that big gator smile, could I come inside your house for a while? That's when Deuce Claire shout, no, I won't let you in, not by all them hairs that I got on my chin. Growled old Claude in that deep gator voice. Now, Piggy, you left me with no other choice. Old Claude hissed and puffed, and he made his face frown. He wheeled a little and turned himself around. And whack! What that gator done, flip his tail hard, that straw house go flying all over the yard. Tooth Claire looked at Claude and he cried, you so big, you just a mean bully. Why pick on us pig? Ha ha ha, old Claude said, Mon ami, don't get mad. Between you and me, that straw house was some bad done. Das Claire he turned as quick as a mouse and he run to where Theobald built the stick house. When Theobald see old Claude chasing Tooth Claire, he say, hurry up, you'll be safe in here, mon frere. They run in the stick house and lock all the door, then peek out and see if Claude comin' some more. Oh, Piggy, said Claude with that big gator smile, could I come inside of your house for a while? Them little pigs shout, no, we won't let you in, not by all them hairs that we got on our chins. Okay, said old Claude, you can have it your way, but I don't like working this hard every day. Old Claude hissed and he puffed and he made his face frown and he wiggled a little and turned himself around and whack! When that gator done flip his tail hard, that stick house go flying all over the yard. That's all them pigs needed to scare 'em to death. They jump up and run till they plumb out of breath. Now, inside his house, Boo was busy for two. He had a big pot and was making a roux. He stirred that roux good 'cause Ulysses, he done learn, you gotta keep stirring or roux's gonna burn. Then out in the yard, Ulysses hear all that noise. He think to himself, now what's wrong with them boys? He opened the door, but before he could fuss, them other pigs cried, boo! Old Claude's after us. Ulysses slammed the door and he turned the big lock, and just when he did that, he heard a soft knock. Oh, piggies, said Claude with that big gator smile, could I come inside of your house for a while? Them little pigs shout, no, we won't let you in, not by all them hairs that we got on our chin. So whack, the old gator done flip his tail hard, but this time the house don't fall down to yard. Agent Claude done hit some more. Then he gotta stop 'cause his tail's getting sore. I see there's a chimney, that's how I get in, and then I get all of them hairs on your chin. Toast Claire started to whine. What are we going to do? Oh, Theobald cried. Well, he'll eat us for sure. Both shouted at his brothers, get up off your scat and bring me some wood. We gonna burn up the heat. Outside they hear Claude on the roof scratching roof. He don't climb so good and he kept falling down, but finally he climbed all the way to the top. He jumped in the chimney, didn't let go and drop. Now Claude, he don't know about the roo and the pot, but as he was falling, he start getting hot. Oh, Claude can't slow down and he think, this ain't good. If I get out of this chimney, I would. I think maybe they might be having gator stew. What do you think? But it was too late. Claude's big tail hit the roo, and y'all, when it did, Claude don't know what to do. Aye, someone help me out. Too sweet. My tail's a burning up. Won't you please stop the heat? Them 3 little pigs know what Claude tried to do, but they figure he learned his lesson for true. Ulysses run and grab a big lid for that pot and then put it on top so it won't be so hot. Look at this. That is one big gator. Oh, now I got it upside down. And I'm reading it backwards. Clawed tail came out first, and dead pigs had to laugh, 'cause the gator was toasted on his bottom half. He walked out the door kind of funny and slow. He'd head down the road, and the pigs watch him go. So he's rubbing his bottom as he go. You'll have a nice day, Toast Glare called with a smile. Then Theobald laughed. Don't come back for a while. But Big Brother Boo got his arms folded tight. He says, well, you all planning on sleeping tonight? Them other pigs, they start scratching their head. They ain't got no house and they ain't got no beds. Ulysses tell them, you can all stay here tonight, but we got to go and build you a better house, right? The very next day, Theobald and Toast Claire done build the best houses you've seen anywhere. Ulysses showed them how they can build a house strong in case that old gator should come back along. And speaking of gators way down the bayou, gator we know here was hurting for sure. He got him an ice pack on his derriere, and where them pigs live, he ain't going back there. He's sitting on ice, 'cause his tush is burnt. And some of this story is true and some is not. And which part is which, you all, I guess I forgot. But take my advice, 'cause I know that it's true. When gators come running, cheer, just make yourself a roo. I love that story. That was so much fun. It was just like the 3 Little Pigs, but it was done Cajun style. And I thought it wasn't a gator. I mean, it was a wolf, not a gator. So, no, it was a gator, not a wolf. So enjoy the day, the rest of the day. Enjoy and think about all the things that you can think about today that would be nice. To be kind to everyone. Be kind to your mom. Be kind to your brother and sisters. Be kind to your teachers. Be kind to your neighbors. Have a good day.
Hey, 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 boys and girls. How's everyone on this fine Thursday morning?
Hey, Allie, I thought I heard your voice.
Yep, it's the one and only.
Well, Allie, are you going to Mardi Gras this year? I'm not sure I'm going.
I'm going. I never miss Mardi Gras.
Well, you know it may be canceled again. Did you think of that?
Last year, when they canceled it, a few of my friends and I got together and we had our own celebration.
Well, is that so? I didn't get an invite.
Yes, you did, Freddie. I remember mailing your invitation myself.
I never received it. Oh, wait a minute, I forgot. We moved to a different pond last year, and maybe the invite got lost in the mail.
I would never forget to invite one of my best friends.
Well, I wouldn't think so. Thanks, Allie. You're one of my best buddies, too.
Last year we had a great time. We had a band. Have you ever heard of the Bourbon Street Band?
Oh, Lordy, yes, they're a great band for Mardi Gras. And I think Miss Stephanie read a story about them today at story time.
She did? I need a copy of that book and so I can have my friends sign it.
Oh, you shall do that. That would be a great book to have in the library collection. Oh, maybe after they sign it, you could donate it here at the library.
Great idea.
Well, what else did you do at your celebration?
We ate jambalaya and had a Mardi Gras king cake.
Mardi Gras king cake. Is that the one where the little baby is hidden inside? Who found the baby?
That would be me. I was crowned king for a day.
Well, lucky you.
Well, I need to get going and start planning my Mardi Gras celebration.
Well, that sounds like fun. Can I come along and help?
Yes, 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 my good friend.
Great. Let me go home and get my Mardi Gras jacket and beads, and then I'll be ready to go. All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye,
Bye, boys and girls.